they were so good today?
Yeah, the surprise, I think more than anything, the surprise was that, leading up to this all week, we felt like, we had really, really good workouts. We had really good, we had a really good idea of what we wanted to do, what Ohio State was going to do. And we started the game like we knew, and our defense was right on point, and we were moving the ball. And I think the first couple times that we turned the ball over, I think it was a real it was like a punch that kind of put us back a little bit. And it didn't have to be, but I think our reaction was so unlike what I've seen in the last month. And I knew we had that in us because we've done that in the past. We have a lot of unsure ball handlers. We have a lot of unsure decision makers. I get that. Players, can be like that. But this one just. And it lingered the entire quarter, no matter how many times we tried to stop it, no matter what we tried to do. And I guess halftime couldn't come fast enough. And we got ourselves squared away at halftime, and I think we had like 8 in the second. And some of them were, but we handled everything, way, way, way better. But unfortunately, that second quarter, we just completely lost our composure. And obviously, us as a coaching staff feel terrible because we feel like, we should have had them in a better frame of mind, to handle that. So that's something that I'm disappointed in ourselves.
You could talk about that and how, it kind of felt like that breaking point, like you guys, like you said, had punched back throughout the year and just couldn't find that punch today. Do you think all the injuries and just everything you've talked about, how this has been a season unlike any ever, just kind of caught up to you guys and not being able to punch back in that moment?
I don't know. Sometimes you meet somebody else that keeps punching you and doesn't give you an opportunity to punch them back. And I just thought Ohio State, you knew going into the game, they're not going to be out of the game no matter what. They've been in too many games where they didn't play well and still came back to win. And you had to be pretty precise, and you had to really be on point. And I thought the mistakes that we made in the second quarter not only affected our ability to get into an attack, but when we did, we were so out of sorts we couldn't even run the stuff that was easy to run. And then you saw every time we did, we got an easy bucket. Now, unfortunately, we just didn't. I was in the locker room before the game, and I said to Jamel, I said, after 29 of these in a row, after all this time in the NCAA tournament, all these years, I don't know why. There's just a sense of calm that I have, in that it really, really dawns on you how little control you have once the game begins. Not over like, what are we running? Are we running man zone offense? What are we running? Are we pressing and not pressing? Not that. How little control you have over people's emotions, young people's emotions, and what's going on inside of them. And when it starts to get sideways a little bit, you have very, 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 very limited, if any, ability to change it. And you just always keep your fingers crossed and hope that it doesn't happen. So when it does, you look back and you realize how incredibly difficult it is to keep winning at this time of the year. And it's unfortunate because these guys really, they gave us an awful lot. They did an awful lot. They accomplished an awful lot. It's a season that they'll remember, for the rest of their lives. And it gave Dorka and Lou an opportunity to to show the whole country this is who I am, this is what I can do. You know, somebody like Lou, it seems like every big game we played this year, she's played fantastic. So I'm really happy for the two of them, and I want them to leave feeling like, they did everything they possibly could to extend the season, and it just wasn't meant to be.
You bring in players who know the weight of wearing UConn across their chest, but what do you say when those players are feeling internally that they let UConn down?
That's the price you pay for playing at a place like UConn. Anytime you go someplace where the rewards and the benefits are greater than they are anywhere else, the other side is also there. They didn't let anybody down. They didn't let any other player down. They didn't let, the school down, or the coaches, or, the fans, or anybody. They just don't, I'm sure they just don't feel good about their own individual performance today. And that, I'm sure, is very disappointing for them. But in terms of did they disappoint, no. That's something that they should never. If your effort is bad, if you just don't show up, that's different. But something like this, believe me, they have no one to apologize to, and no reason to apologize for anything.
Youth has taken this really hard in the locker room, as is everyone, but she feels like she really let the team down, being the point guard of this team against that pressure.
Well, unfortunately, in these situations against teams like this, she needs help, because any good defense isn't going to let her necessarily dominate the game. So she needs a little bit of help, and I would say tonight she got zero, if minimal, help during that second quarter. And the more that happened, the more she started to press, and the more she tried to take it upon herself to do it alone, and the worse it got. And I guess, unless you've been in that situation where, if I would show them on the film, listen, guys, there's 5 of them out there, and there's 5 of us. So if I showed them on the film, like, this guy's wide open, that guy's wide open, and that guy's wide open, and you only see the guy that's not, like, you go, it almost feels like there's 8 guys on the floor for them when things like this are spiraling out of control. And that's just a function of, that's what sports is, man. That's what sports is. And when we handled it great, got wide open shots. And when we didn't handle it, we looked really, really bad. And in spite of all that, too, you think about it, the amount of dumb fouls that we commit at the absolute worst time. And again, that's on coaching too. Because I think that shows that we're undisciplined. I even made it a point. We talk about it all the time. I said, look, we try to do a really good job of taking away the 3. Well, if we do a really good job of taking away the 3, and then a guy goes in for a layup, and you smack him in the back of the head, and they get a 3-point play. Like, that counts. That's like a 3. And we do that, and we did that over and over and over again. And again, you take all those things and you add them all up, and we got more shots than them. We shot a higher percentage than them. We out-rebounded them. But they outplayed us, and they deserve to win.
Does it not surprise you that Lou fought right to the end?
No, yeah, that's but how many times have we talked about how mature you have to be to win in this environment? And how many times this season have I said she's the most mature person on our team? That she's always the same every day, every day, every day. And every day she brings the exact same thing. Every day, every day, every day. So I'm not surprised that she was able to play the way she's playing today, the way she played today. That's who she is. That's her makeup. You know, and then you've got other players, their makeup is, I can do it today, but I'm iffy tomorrow. And can't change who people are. You know, and that's why in these environments you look and you go, how'd that team, like, you know, you turn on the TV anytime, how'd that team win? And that team lose. It's easy. Just be there, try to get inside people's heads, and now you know why. It's not that, it sucks, but it's not that complicated.